Hey there, I hope you're doing well. If you recall, a couple years ago, we went super deep into a certain superhero strategy game, and I remember getting a lot of messages and comments from you guys about keeping our eye on something similar, but very different, called CAPES. And at the time, this was looking very promising, but there wasn't a lot of information about it, so I've been tracking it. I don't want to say that CAPES is just like XCOM with superheroes, but I do think that at a glance, the vast majority of people would probably describe it as such. In CAPES, however, the supervillains have essentially won the battle, okay? They've created a dystopian city where developing superpowers is actually a crime. And that's where we come in as CAPES. You'll understand after the intro. So here we are in 2024, and I do want to take a second to really thank you directly. I know that sounds weird. You're not just a random viewer, but really all of the times that you've watched my videos and made comments and supported the channel has led up to moments like this, where, for example, here, Daedalic has given us worldwide exclusivity for a couple of days before release to play CAPES together on this channel and this channel only. So this series begins now, and I hope you're excited as I am, because after about 10 minutes in the tutorial, I was already hooked. If you care about this kind of thing, CAPES is developed by an Australian indie dev called Spitfire Interactive. And honestly, you wouldn't know it, but this is their debut title. This is their first game, but it is sick. The game is also published by Daedalic, who I mentioned, and they are sponsoring this series, so thank you so much for that. Let's dive in, guys. This is CAPES, and we have a choice to make here. We could play on casual, we could play on normal, which is the recommended way to play CAPES. We're gonna go hardcore. There's a little bit more at stake here. Heroes are gonna have less health, weapons and disarmable actions cause more damage, and missions fail when a hero is KO'd. So every move is gonna matter. We're gonna have to plan out our approach. We're gonna have to execute, and hopefully we get good at it, because that could be painful. Let's go.
King City. A prosperous and bustling metropolis. A safe place. A protected place. Until the day its golden guardians fell from the sky. And the company moved in to take control. Now King City's prosperity comes at a price. Anyone the company suspects of possessing superpowers is taken off the streets, while those that resist are hunted.
We picked up that rogue super signal, boss. She's headed this way.
Perfect. I love it when they run. Means I get to chase them. All right, beat it. I've got work to do. Where'd she go? Come on out, runt! Nothing? I figured you might be more of a challenge. Maybe a little collateral damage will bring you out of the woodwork.
Holy hell! He turned this block into a war zone in less than a minute.
This is it. Time to make a statement.
I sort of figured we'd receive some kind of training first. You know, try out our new powers in a controlled environment. Virtual reality, combat drones, target practice, anything.
You want to play archery tag? Try joining the Boy Scouts. But right now, Crashdamage is down there kicking 7 shades of shit out of some civilians. So you're gonna have to learn on the job.
Ah, great. When management says you'll learn on the job, what they really mean is I don't know how to train you.
Why is he kicking up a ruckus anyway?
He's sending a message. Anyone who hides a cape gets put down. Hard.
Cool pep talk, boss.
Ah, found you.
Come on, Facet. Time to earn our merit badges.
Help!
Hey! Where's the soup?
Oh shit. We've got to save these people.
Okay, here's our first introduction. That's a cool little setup. I love it. Let's dive in. This is Facet, everybody. He's a defender who can grow crystal shards to protect himself and others from enemy attacks. Notice the shards on his forearms there. His shards can also block or immobilize enemies. Heroes take turns to move and perform actions. We've seen that before. However, in CAPES, a hero can move as many times as they choose on their turn till all their move points are used. You also get, I'm going ahead here, you also get 2 actions that you can use in any order that you want. Now, in the tutorial, it's going to slowly expand the number of actions that we have. So you're going to look at this originally and be like, okay, dude only has 1 action. But that is not the case. You'll see very soon. Move Facet closer to the goons to draw the attack away from the civilians. So pay attention to how each of these guys' playstyles is vastly different. Let's head in with Facet here. We're going to put him between the enemies and these civilians. Now, every action consumes an action point. Once all action and move points are used, the turn ends. Facet can grow crystals on his body to protect himself from enemy attacks. This ability gives him high damage resistance. Use his crystallize ability. So when we look at this, a couple of things to pick out of this. Obviously, you get damage reduction, reduced movement, cannot be knocked back. All of that's important because you'll notice underneath here, there's these kind of drop zones that you can knock enemies into. You can get knocked into. That's bad news bears. So that immobilize aspect of this is very powerful as well. So he's reducing damage by 50%, 50% on range damage as well. And that's stuff that can be modified with some of his upgrades, as we'll get into later. And this does reduce his amount of movement to 3 though. So it makes him like very tanky, and he's a little heavier, so he can't move as much. Anyways, we're gonna crystallize.
Looking for us, bozo?
What? Who the hell are you?
Get out of here. I'll cover you.
He's trapped! I can't leave without him!
Damn it. They're still in the firing line. Better lay down some cover.
I gotta give him props in the tutorial too. It does a really cool job of introducing things like one step at a time. And even when I stopped, like in my testing, there was more. There was a lot more to learn. And so I'm intrigued to see like how deep it goes. Enemies can be highlighted to reveal the area that they can attack next turn. It's very clear, very concise. So if you need to try to position yourself in a spot where you're not going to get attacked, you know where that's going to be. Facet's growth ability fills a space with crystal and can block ranged enemies' line of sight, preventing them from being able to hit their target on their next turn. So use Facet's growth ability to block the enemy's line of sight to the remaining civilians. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to place it right here.
Why don't you pick on somebody your own size?
All right. It's your funeral.
Beautiful. Couple of things you're going to notice just looking at the health bars.
No targets. Move it
Ah,
up.
jeez. Looks like I'm up.
Help!
Obviously, we know what the health is. He's got 5 health bars, but notice hers only 2. Very, very fragile, and that really plays into her moveset and her entire play style as well. We're going to learn about how to build their ultimates. You build these differently on every character, which is a really neat mechanic. There's also synergies between every combination of characters that have specific things you need to put in place to trigger. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm excited, so I kind of want to just tease you about what's coming. Now, Rebound is a striker who can teleport through obstacles and across gaps. She uses her mobility to get an advantage in a fight, which she has to because she only has 2 health. Use Rebound to teleport, move to reach the stranded civilian and rescue them. So we're going to move here, and we're just going to teleport over.
Come on, let's blow this joint.
So if there's like a vehicle in your way, you can jump behind the vehicle. If you want to jump behind an enemy, all of that stuff is open. There's no way that she can be blocked within a certain range of her move. Now, her strike action allows her to attack a target from range. Additionally, any of Rebound's attacks that hit an enemy in the back gain a backstab damage bonus. And this is only her. Not every enemy gets backstab damage, or not every ally gets backstab damage. So that's pretty cool. With an action selected, highlighting a target reveals how much damage will be inflicted from the action. Use Rebound's strike ability to hit the enemy from behind. So they have a really nice, clean and concise damage preview. And just noticing down here, this strike has a range of 5, so you can be pretty far away, but you can also be right up behind, either way. Cause damage from behind for bonus damage. So if we target him, you can see the preview there. On a regular attack from the front, it's only going to be 1 damage. From behind, you get that bonus backstab damage. And then, spoiler, there is a character that eventually unlocks that, like, amplifies other damage. She has an amplification with, like, a combo power with Facet that's pretty cool, so we'll get into that in a bit.
Surprise, punks!
She is like super fun to play. Rebound's teleport spin ability allows her to move and attack an area. It can be used to get into the action, deal damage, and then by using any remaining move points, get to safety. Use her teleport spin ability to move in and attack the enemy. So for read teleport spin, move to a position in range and damage all adjacent enemies, causes disarm, cause damage from behind for bonus damage. So you get the regular damage, backstab bonus if applicable. You get the disarm on enemies, so these guys have guns for now, and a range of 5. Now what's cool about this is, yes, it's an action, but because it's giving you this, like, this range, it's not coming out of your movement. So you can, in theory, also use this to gain a whole bunch of extra movement or get away or use it however you see fit. But we're going to teleport spin right in here. We're going to end up killing off this guy and disarming him.
And stay down.
Now, it doesn't mean he can't attack. It just means that he's dealing less damage. He's only got fists, right? Now, move and action points can be used in any order on a hero's turn. When all points are used, a hero's turn automatically ends. Use Rebound's remaining move to teleport out of Facet's way and end Rebound's turn. So let's just move out of the way here. Done. Now, some actions cause push, which can knock back targets into other enemies, obstacles, and hazards for bonus damage, or even off ledges, which I kind of alluded to before. Move Facet up and use Shard Strike to knock the enemy off the ledge. Will do. Now, of course, you'll notice in the top right, if you're paying close attention here, that there is a turn order, and that is represented by these numbers to the left of the health bars as well. So you don't always have to look at this. You can just look at those numbers, whatever you prefer. But if we do his move here, we can get in a little bit closer, and then we've got his Shard Strike, which is a range of 2, and it does a push of 1. So you can see we're going to push him into that chasm. And he's gone. Now, obviously, we're just starting out on some very basic enemies here. It's not going to stay like that.
Keep away from us.
So the civilians are scared.
Serious? How's that for gratitude?
Even though we literally just saved them.
The super.
What super? I don't know anything. Stop it. Leave them alone.
And what I like about this...
Play hero. Show them what happens to heroes in this town.
No, please.
This is going to sound bad what I'm about to say.
Anybody else feeling brave? No? Then start talking.
We've got to stop this.
Yeah, but I can't make that jump.
Get a little closer. I can bounce us across.
So this is where you get introduced to their combos. Or team-up abilities. What I wanted to say, though, is I really like the tone of CAPES so far. Obviously, in the intro, we saw, like, there's some kind of joking, and they're dropping, like, some swear words and stuff. They're being a little bit edgy, and that's fine. But then, like, the enemies are brutal. Like, they're taking down civilians. They're, like, it's intense. Like, I love that. I love that it's a darker superhero approach. Heroes can get an advantage in combat and team up when they're within 3 spaces of each other. Move Facet to the edge next to Rebound. So you can see a little preview here on this teleport. But this is under Facet's move. Okay, so yes, it's showing an icon and saying Rebound, but this is under Facet's move set. So you got to pay attention to that. So we're going to move in here. And now we can use this team up. Rebound grants her allies the teleport ability, allowing them to move to a new location in range at the cost of an action. Use Facet's teleport Rebound team up action to traverse the gap. So this is going to use an action, but it's using it from Facet. It's a really cool way of doing these team ups, I think. Okay, so we're going to get him over there.
Supers? Wait, are these the ones we're after? Who cares?
Now, obviously a little bit dangerous in the fact that we're right next to this drop.
I'll show you how it's done.
But of course, enemy villains, minions, usually not that smart.
Every time they hit me, I felt a rush. Like adrenaline, but something else.
Maybe getting hit channels your ultimate power.
My ultimate power? What are you talking about?
It's the greatest manifestation of your power. Figure out how to tap into that, and a hero can turn the tide of any fight.
So this is a really, really cool system. Obviously, a lot of games have ultimate abilities and you usually build them up in certain ways, but in Capes, each of the different heroes has their own way of building up an ultimate. So for Facet, as an example, he gains an ultimate charge every time that he's hit in combat. So you really do want to be tanking with him, specifically with that crystallized ability on, right? And you can see the blue bars at the bottom there, that's charging up his ultimate.
Okay. Get hit more, get more powerful. Good to know.
Rebound. Time to make him hurt.
Way ahead of you.
Okay, teleport spin. So we're gonna move and attack multiple enemies here. So if we go into here, you can see we're hitting each of them. This guy's gonna get disarmed, and they're each gonna take 1 damage. Now, when positioned within 3 spaces of an ally, heroes can team up and augment actions, as we learned. But we're gonna see here, highlighting a team up ability displays the range that the heroes must be within to perform the action. And one of the things that they do very well in this game is like letting you figure out what's gonna happen on the battlefield. You highlight the enemies, you see their attack areas where you have to be for safety. Highlighting our own abilities, we can see where you need to be to use them. In this tutorial, it's going to have me move first, but it's very, very helpful. So let's go back here. We're within 3 spaces here. Facet combines his crystal shards with the teammates' abilities, granting many of his allies additional damage when they team up. So use Rebound's Strike Facet team up ability to backstab and finish off the enemy. So you can see that little link there. And if we're highlighting this, you can see the range, that white border, of where we need to be in order to use that. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, and we're gonna get that extra damage. Even though we would already have backstab bonus damage there, this is just a cool way of showing this. Now check this out too. The actual animations for them are like combined.
All at once. What a
So he's
rush.
giving a shard to her that she's using for more power.
Your ultimate power. Every super is unique. I guess yours builds the more you backstab.
Absolutely.
The kind of advantage you'll need to stop crash damage.
Okay, so Rebound's ultimate ability charges each time she hits an opponent with the backstab bonus. Remember that each hero charges their ultimate differently. When in doubt, highlight a hero to reveal details on how to charge their ultimate ability.
Facet, finish off these goons.
You got it, boss.
Don't gotta tell me twice. We're just gonna knock him into the pit. See you later.
You're gonna have to start thinking like a team to manage larger groups.
Okay, so now it's throwing more at us. Characters take turn in combat based on the order here. I already highlighted that to you guys. The goon with the number 2 indicates they're going to act next after Facet ends his current turn. But now it's introducing us to his growth ability. And you're going to see like the action bar is going to start expanding as we go here. So this is going to lock somebody in place, prevents them from moving on their next turn. It prevents opportunist attacks, which are like, if you see that little fist icon on the ground, if I'm standing there and I try to run away, that enemy will be granted an opportunist attack, something you're very familiar with in a lot of different strategy games, specifically like D&D type things. So that's in here as well. Let's go ahead and prevent this guy from moving. We're doing that because he would technically act next. So we can lock him in place. You see the little icon there indicating that he's immobilized. Now, Rebound is at risk of being attacked by the goon, and this is bad, obviously, because she's very fragile. Facet, however, can take more damage. Move Facet closer to the enemy to draw their attack and protect Rebound. So if I get right in here, he's not going to leave and disengage from me.
Get these crystals off me!
And we're charging up that ultimate.
Now finish them off.
Okay, so now we can kind of do whatever we like, in a sense. What I'm going to do is teleport in here, get a little bit of extra damage going on both. We got the backstab there, of course. And then we might as well do this strike to clear him.
Whoa, I can feel the power building. That's pretty good.
We also could have teleported back here and backstabbed, but either way, it's all good. Let's get protected from Facet, just jumping behind him there. And we're gonna go next. Now, one cool thing is that if you don't spend your actions, which very rarely you're gonna wanna do, you're probably gonna wanna spend them most of the time, but any unspent action points get converted to your ultimate charge. So if you're not getting a lot of backstabs, if Facet's not taking a lot of damage, then you can convert your action points into ultimate points, which is pretty cool. You lose your movement points though, so something to keep in mind. He's almost fully charged up here. So what we could do is we could teleport behind him if we wanted. Not really necessary in this case, but we could just attack him and then crystallize him, or crystallize this guy and push him back. Or we could move. How far is the push? It's just 1. So I can't really knock them into each other. But let's go ahead and immobilize him again. And then we'll just take this. And that's fine by me. We're going to stand here protecting her. And then we do something like this. Get in there for the backstab. That's cool. Now, if I come here, yes, I would get a backstab. And I think I can still do this because we're going to be acting next. So I will do it. But generally, we want to have some way to get out of this backstab position because it makes her very vulnerable, obviously. But here we can now just move in. And we can take him down. Now, we'll have plenty of times to show off his ultimate.
Who the hell are you?
We're the good guys. We're here to help.
Maybe if we work together, we can take down Crashdamage.
He's not my problem anymore. Huh? Thanks for the diversion, slowpoke.
This is actually a cool, like...
Skinny little freak. Nobody escapes Crashdamage.
There is no way she heard you.
Not the super I was looking for, but whatever. You stupid amateur capes are all the same. Cause a little noise in the city and you all come running to play hero.
The dynamic of having this big brute and then somebody like really fast and skittery is like, it's a neat dynamic.
Well, playtime's over. You two are coming with me.
Okay, so this is like a boss fight, essentially. Crashdamage is a powerful supervillain whose attacks deal high damage to an area. Avoid leaving the heroes next to each other at the end of their turn. Got it.
Alright, this is it. Time to see how you hold up when the shit gets real. Rebound. Use your backstab to charge your ultimate power. You're not gonna get through his thick hide without it. And make sure you're out of the way when he attacks. He's gonna hit like a freight train. Let Facet take those blows.
I'm not sure I volunteered for that.
Well, that's too bad because that's what you're doing. Now, he's got something a little different than we haven't seen so far. Those two diamond orange icons above his health bar, those are his lives. So we got to take him down twice. He can move and just deal 2 damage, which is very strong, obviously considering that we only have 2 damage on Rebound. And then he also has Smash. It's a powerful melee attack that deals high damage and knockback to an adjacent area. It's a 2x2 area with 2 knockback. He has Unstoppable, which reduces the effect of Immobilize, slow resist of 50%, and he's immune to being pushed because he's freaking huge. So we need to engage with Facet for sure. He's still got his crystal shards on. If we were to try like this growth thing, which would normally immobilize somebody, you'll see what happens here. Not a whole lot, okay? Not a whole lot's gonna happen. Reduced movement and prevents attacks of opportunity, does not prevent regular or ranged attacks, but on his turn, he's just gonna break out of that pretty much. What I'll do is get in here and we'll just attack him. Now this breaks. And one of the questions that I have is, for the devs, is when that breaks, it still appears that it's the status effect is working. It's just the visual that breaks. So it's kind of cool because you're punching into this like anthracite rock formation that he's caused, which would be weird if it didn't break, but it would also suck if it broke the status, if that makes sense. So anyways, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go in for backstab damage right behind. You can see we're building her ultimate.
That crash damage.
We're going to hit here And if I went to this tile, I think we could have gotten the teammate combo there for a little bit of extra damage, but it's all good. Now, if we highlight him, he's going to attack in that red area. So I'm going to move. We're going to get... Oh, I got to move a little bit more. Okay.
You think those little crystals will hold me?
So now his ultimate is charged. This could hurt.
Facet, your crystals aren't doing shit to him. But you still need to draw those fists away from Rebound one way or another.
Oh, yeah? How am I supposed to do that?
Just man up.
This ain't exactly rocket science. Figure it out.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so this is where we learn about taunting. Facet can taunt his enemies, forcing them to focus their actions on him instead of his allies. Try Facet's taunt on Crashdamage. So here's taunt now, new action. Turn a target towards Facet, cause them to focus their actions on him, requires line of sight, range of 5, lasts for a turn.
Hey, stupid. If
We're gonna
my
do
portfolio
this.
was as bad as yours, I wouldn't go hoisting giant boulders over my head.
Oh, like that's going to work.
Throw the attack in.
Crystals, you're dead meat.
Fine, fine. I stand corrected.
And then we're gonna draw him this way.
Please.
Now, this ultimate is called Shard Lockdown. It creates a growth on all enemies in range of him, so everybody around him, and it immobilizes them all for a turn, which is very strong. But against him, it's not super effective because of his innate resistances. So we're just gonna chill here for right now. And then we're gonna come in somewhere here, I guess. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna need to get out. Let's do that. I don't think I'm quite getting backstab on him here. We'll take that. And then we need to get out of here. I don't know if I'm gonna be getting out of here.
If you want to pull off a backstab, you have to attack them in the back, Rebound.
I thought I was in the back, bro. So because of the taunt, we didn't have to worry about that as much. I probably could have stayed a little closer to make it more efficient for the next turn. But here we are. Okay. So we're going to taunt again to keep his attention on us. And then I could even move in and just fully engage here. We'll move a bit. And then here we go. Okay, so 1 life gone. Now I can use this.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Get a bunch of extra damage because of the combo. And then we can move out of here. I probably could stay there, but... should build the habit now. Okay, he's getting pretty close to not being around for much longer.
You're just a little bully in big shoes.
Let me trigger this because it's cool. Now, the thing about the ultimates that's neat is you can trigger them at any point in the turn. So before you move, after you move, before your actions, after your actions. It doesn't cost any actions, and it's obviously quite powerful. Okay, so you're gonna chill. And now we're coming in. We're gonna fill up our bar.
All right, here goes nothing.
And we're gonna throw at her ultimate. These, as I explained, these don't consume action points, can be used at any point in time. Use Rebound's Shadow Blitz ultimate on Crashdamage. Let's go. Now, Shadow Blitz, a series of powerful ranged attacks that damage multiple random targets in an area. It does 5 attacks, 2 damage per attack, which is enough to deal with him. So let's throw it down. Very cool little ability cinematics as well. They've done a fantastic job here.
Enough! Not such a tough guy without your pretty little crystals, are you? You put up a pretty good fight for a newbie. I'll give you that much. But it's like I said. Nobody escapes crash damage!
Hello.
Just checking. You wanted to be pulled from the tracks, right?
Oh my god, I almost died. Wait, do you think he died?
That guy? I doubt it.
You think an entire train couldn't stop him?
Do you really want to stick around and find out? Didn't think so. Back to base on the double.
So I'm curious about
won, right?
our leader guy
That
here.
was us winning our first proper fight. We're real superheroes now.
Don't get ahead of yourself, kid. This ain't a city for heroes anymore. We're the resistance, not the cavalry.
Okay, which means...
It means get your asses back to base before the company's cavalry arrives. Doctrine out.
Doctrine. I want to know his story, because there's some history there.
Hey, that was great. I was great. You were great.
Me? You were amazing. You saved my life.
I did save your life, didn't I? Well, maybe it's true. Maybe diamonds really are a girl's best friend.
Oh, this isn't diamond. Some kind of silicon crystal lattice as far as I can tell.
Let's get back to base, Mr. Xylophone Lettuce.
Xylophone lettuce.
Panic this evening as a pair of super-powered terrorists went on a violent rampage through the streets of King City. The civilian death toll, we have been informed, could be in excess of 50.
What? Death toll?
Terrorists? We're not terrorists. We were defending those people.
And where the hell's the footage of that big galoot we were fighting?
This is how they do you. First the media kills your name, your reputation. Then some bastard with a skull for a belt buckle kills you in the streets. And nobody cares. This is the hero game in King City. Still want to wear the tights?
It's a little late for us to back out now, Doc.
Yeah, our first mission made us public enemies #1 and 2.
Vigilantism's always been against the law, kid. Even back in my day. Sure, the mayor or the chief of police would smile when you stopped a bank heist. But you could tell they resented it. And that resentment, that made them look around for alternatives.
Yeah? Well, what happened? What did they do?
Forget it. Story time's over. The point is, we want to do this, we're gonna need an army.
A super army? What, are we recruiting?
How? Every time a new super shows up, the company releases the hounds.
Then you'll have to get faster. I got to you before they did, didn't I?
Barely.
And then we need to find out what the company does with the supers they catch. I have a hunch, and I don't like it.
So there's our basic setup. Now, from what I gather, you get XP just for going on the mission. It's not based on how many enemies you kill or who does the killing, that kind of thing. It is purely just being there. And as we get more heroes, then we can take out up to 4 on missions. So I don't know how many there are in total, but you'll have a choice to make every time you build a roster for a mission of up to 4.
2 new capes? You're sure?
Oh, yeah. Real sure. They nearly took me apart.
How unfortunate.
Oh, boss. I didn't know you cared. Think I've actually busted a couple ribs.
Not that, you cretin. You let a pair of freshly minted capes go. Not to mention the speedster. And frankly, you're useless to me if you can't fight. Perhaps it's time for you to visit Alpha.
Yeah, whoa! Let's not do anything we're gonna regret. They won't get away from me next time. I swear.
Of course they won't. And either way, I'll find a use for you.
A little bit of mystery with him. Don't know what's up, but leader of the supervillains. Probably a pretty friendly guy. Main monitor.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means playtime is over. You two are up. Someone in the city is using powers. You need to bring them in before they fall into company hands.
Well, you heard him, Diamond Dome. Let's roll.
Whoa. Diamond Dome? I never agreed to that.
Okay, cool. So the idea here is that we're detecting superpowers being used. We want to get to them and get them to join us before they join the company. Sarka residence, Kensington Heights.
Facet, wait up. Are we sure we're doing the right thing here?
You're asking this now. What do you mean?
Should we be joining up with this weird old man's obsessive revenge trip? Should we really be roping other people into it?
Yes.
Probably not. If the company gets to the kid, no one will ever see them again. Just like every other super in town. Doc's weird and mean, and his hygiene is questionable. But he's got to be better than that.
So pulling this kid into our crazy adventure is the lesser of two evils?
We've come all this way, so I hope so.
Ugh, crap. Too
What?
late.
I have to imagine that Doc has some crazy powers.
This is the company. Illegal superhuman activity has been detected at this location. Surrender the cape, or we will be forced to take extreme measures.
Why can't you leave us alone? We've done nothing wrong.
Ugh. What do we do now?
That's a lot of agents. Think we can take them?
Suspect is non-compliant. Terminal force authorized.
Yeah, it's go time, guys. Go time.
You heard him, boys. Body cameras off. Blow the door out and form up. We told you, leave us alone.
Hello.
Back up. We need backup.
Strong enough to knock back a helicopter.
Like our cue.
Follow me.
Okay, so enemies can pick up and carry weapons that cause extra damage or other combat effects. It's often best to disarm these enemies before they can be used against the team. Each hero has a dedicated disarm action. You'll notice the action bar getting bigger again here, which can be used to disarm a weapon or prevent a powerful attack. Additionally, some actions cause disarm, such as Rebound's teleport spin. Try disarming the enemies during combat. Now, as far as I can tell, this blue icon represents their like disarm ability. So if they had two blue icons underneath, you'd have to use 2 disarm attacks to get them to drop it. And I think when you, in the previous villain fight, when the guy was holding the rock above his head, I think he had 3. So we would not have been able to disarm even if the disarm abilities were active here. But anyways, something to keep in mind as we go forward. Okay, so we got 4 enemies here. This guy is armed, but it's melee. The rest are ranged. So, couple of things we could look at doing here. I probably should I should get crystallized here. Yeah, we're gonna crystallize up. And actually, you should move first, I just realized, because you could use your full movement actions and then crystallize. Either way, this is fine. Okay. So we're gonna come in here. We're going to just do a regular disarm.
Hey!
And then that's all he's gonna be able to do right now. So let's leave him there. Now, are you sure you want to end your turn? Unspent action points are converted and unspent move are lost. That's fine. I'll keep this on for a bit as a little bit of a reminder.
I've seen what he could do.
Okay. Now this range is pretty nice. Go here, and I think this little purple indicator is showing that's when it's a backstab. So that's how we'll be able to know where we need to be to get that to trigger. The other thing I could do is go in like this, disarm that guy. There are some optional objectives top left: disarm the enemy 5 times, successfully backstab 3 times, and use an ultimate. So let's do this. This will get us a backstab and a disarm, and then I don't need the full strike there, mind you. I guess we could just do like so.
A little stabby for you.
And then we want to get moving. These guys are going to come rushing towards us. So let's just get out of dodge there. You can hold tab to fast forward. That's clean. I like that.
Glad I prepared for that.
Tank up, buddy. Okay. So do we want to lock any of these guys in place? This guy's still super far away. I think what I'll do is taunt this guy. We already have this guy in our, like, AoE thing, so I don't think he's going to be moving. And we could just be knocking him. Now, he took a little bit of extra damage because he was knocked into that vehicle. Just something to keep our eye on. Now, if I move, you can see that little opportunity attack being highlighted, saying like, hey, man, maybe we shouldn't do that. So we'll just skip the rest of his turn. That's fine.
Keep him away from me. I've seen what he could do.
Now, getting a backstab here, not going to happen, unfortunately. But let's come in like so. Because you get that bonus movement on that, which is absolutely massive.
Rebound, stab them with this.
Clear him out. And then I'm going to get over here. He can come in and engage this way. Good.
You're gonna have to hit him harder than that.
Okay. Now, growth is obviously pretty strong, but the other thing you need to keep in mind is like each of these attacks can only be used once. You can't just shard strike twice. So I'll show that to you here. So once I shard strike this guy, then it's off for this turn. So you can't just kind of spam that. Same thing if you uncrystallize, you can't just recrystallize right after. That action will go on to cooldown for the turn. But as far as I can tell, there's only that one turn cooldown so far. What we could do is freeze this guy, and he won't be able to do anything. And then I'll get up in this guy's grill.
He's coming for us.
And we'll look to come in here. Now let's move a bit. See if that gets me close enough. No, not quite. Now, I don't want to be standing behind him necessarily because even though he's immobilized, it seems like he can still do regular or ranged attacks, and I'm a little bit concerned about that, obviously. Shadow Blast is kind of interesting. Disarm all enemies in range. So we've got this like 1, 2, 3 tile thing that's heading out in every direction. I don't have a great way of utilizing that here though. So even if I do this, again, like I'm just in a spot where that's a little bit too risky. So I think we just chill here. He's not doing anything. He's going to shoot here.
Take more than that to stop me.
Now they're kind of grouped, which is nice. They also have this delay. So you can delay the current hero's turn. Cannot be used after the hero moves or performs any action. So I could get her to go first, which in some situations might be good. I also don't know if it delays to the end of the round or not, but it is something we could experiment with here, I suppose. Let's come in here and just engage. And then, oh yeah, but I can't, yeah, okay, we'll have to experiment another time. No big deal. Let's taunt this guy.
Okay, you mooks, focus on me.
And then we'll get a little bit of damage going, I think. So now they're both in, because of our position with that whirlwind attack, I can actually hit them both here. So we go here, we're gonna kill one. We're also, I don't know if that'll count as a disarm because he'll be dead, but we'll disarm this guy too. So yeah, it gave us credit for both disarms there. And then I could hop back here. We go with the bonus damage on the backstab. That's gonna fill up her ultimate as well. And then I'm not gonna waste this ultimate on him. He is taunted, so we were using that to build up his. And you may as well just take him out.
Last one down.
How dare you? We're good people. My son has done nothing wrong.
Oh, cool.
It's okay, Mum. These two, they're friends. Or they will be. They're the Resistance? And they're going to ask me to join them. I'm going to say yes, Mum.
Huh. So he's got a little precognition stuff going on.
Jump ahead now. How do you know all that? And who said we wanted you to join us? We're real exclusive.
No, you're not. I skimmed your mind while you were watching the house. He's kind of hard to read, but you're very loud.
Thanks.
Look.
Cool. Cool.
Now.
Atharv, wait! Don't go out there, please. What if they see what you are? To lose my only son to the company? It would be too much.
It's okay, Mum. We knew we couldn't hide this forever. It's time. More agents.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Leave them to me.
Kind of like Professor Xavier vibes, right? Mindfire is an attacker who uses the power of his mind to make enemies vulnerable to his ranged telekinesis attacks. Mindfire is most effective against enemies with high health. Now, again, very fragile, these two, okay? Use Mindfire's vulnerable ability to weaken the enemy. Let's just take a look at what else he's got. So telekinesis, damage a single target at range, requires line of sight. Team up with Facet, where it increases the damage by 0.5. Okay. A team up with Rebound for the teleport, right? So we can use the abilities on the other heroes to benefit from her teleport ability, which is sick. Vulnerable, target sustains more damage when attacks. Attacks on vulnerable targets increases Mindfire's charge. Okay, so that's how we build up his ultimate. And then the disarm, of course. Range of 5, which is pretty helpful. Okay, so once it's used vulnerable here, you can see the little status icon at the top. Now, any hero who attacks a vulnerable enemy will inflict additional damage and charge Mindfire's Barrage ultimate. This deals high damage to single target at range, requires line of sight, does 3 damage, which, as you can see at this level of the game, 3 damage is significant. Use Mindfire's telekinesis action to defeat the enemy and charge the ultimate. Let's go. So he benefits from it as well. Yep, very cool. We just use the ultimate and delete. That'll hit the optional objective for using the ult as well, which I thought maybe we messed up.
Whoa, wow! Remind me not to get on your bad side.
Is that all of them? We'd better bounce before more show up.
Actually...
So his, like, precognition stuff that I mentioned seems like very short term. Taunt with Mindfire. So, okay, so this makes our taunt better. It's a 2x2 square. Very cool. I suppose I could use an action to get him in there. So yeah, I highlighted her to see the range, and I could use this to get in. It is going to use an action, of course, but I do want him in here, like, tanking as much as I can.
See how much easier this is?
And then who's going to go next? So we're actually all operating first. I could lock somebody down, or I could taunt. Maybe we'll taunt the ranged unit here.
Hey!
This guy should attack. This guy should attack. That guy, if he can reach. This guy, who knows? I think that's good.
He's coming for us.
Okay, and now we have her ultimate. And if I were to move up just a bit here, can I get all of these guys in? Yes, I can. Now, this is 5 attacks, 2 damage per attack, and it's random, so I can't control where it's going to go. But remember, it doesn't cost an action, doesn't cost your movement. That is sick. That is sick. Okay, didn't hit that guy at all. Damn, they're good. Yeah. You're not wrong. This will also get us our disarm, which is cool. Let's go in there and disarm. And then my strike isn't going to be enough to take him out, although we do have Mindfire available. We'll just do our basic attack here. So Mindfire can probably take him out. Let me get out of dodge. Now, we should be putting this vulnerable on first to help build his charge. So vulnerable, even though not totally necessary because we could kill him anyways. Let's boost his ultimate.
Keep away from my friends.
And then we'll kind of group up here. And I think we're going to turn this off now, right? We all got that. We know. Ba-boom. Now, okay, phase 3 of 3. So this will be the last enemy. I might as well just blast this off. That's very strong, dude. Like, that is insanely cool. Mindfire increases the area of effect. Can teleport. Don't really need to do that. We can just attack him. Now, notice that when we immobilized him there, it doesn't prevent him from being knocked back. And he's still immobilized as far as I can tell, but we broke that thing and pushed him out of it. So I guess we just lock him down again here, or we just taunt. So that we know who he's going to attack.
Being a bad guy.
Keep him away from me. I've seen what he can do.
Okay, let's go in for the backstab and kill here. That is so satisfying. Her moveset is so cool.
Reinforcements on the way.
I have to go, Mum.
Yes, he does.
Be strong for me.
This wretched city is an upside-down place. No son should ever have to tell his mother to be strong. Go then. Go do what is right. Even when what is right is hard. And the two of you? Look after my son. He's just a boy. Shouldn't have to bear such burdens.
Mom, I'm not... Listen, I'm ready for this.
Soundtrack is cool too. It's like, it's not too intrusive.
Okay, big brain.
If that makes sense.
What? Yes, it's fine. Don't start jumping at shadows, Atharv. Need to fit in.
Atharv.
Let's go.
Nothing about you is going to fit in, buddy, but that's exactly the type of person we want. Rebound and Facet show Mindfire to his room. It's a sick pad. The high-tech, fancy superhero boarding rooms of the Lodge have long since fallen into disrepair, converted to temporary dwellings. Covered with faded clippings, some newspapers, and dust.
So, I live here now? Is the entire place made of rat shit, or just my room?
Pretty much all of it. Welcome to the glamorous life of the city's last superheroes.
Superheroes are dead, Facet. They have been for a long time.
No, they just smell that way. Speaking of, wait until you meet the old man.
Speaking of.
You two are really gonna hit it off.
Listen, we may be out of fashion, but somebody's got to do this job. Why not us?
The three heroes sit in the large open space that was once the board table of the Lodge. Be interesting to see if we upgrade this base in any way. The seat backs, dusty and broken, still display the logos of the heroes that once sat upon these chairs. So maybe that's the number of heroes we could get, potentially? 20 years ago, this used to be the meeting place for the world's most powerful heroes. Long forgotten, nobody cares.
So, now there's 3 of us. You feel like letting us in on your plan?
The plan hasn't changed. It's what we should have done a long time ago. Make this a free city. And if I have to tear it bloodily out of the hands of the company, well, that's just a bonus.
If we get rid of them, who's going to run things? The Capes died decades ago.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Oh, cool. So we have no plan for that then. Terrific. Anarchy all around. Good job.
I wasn't looking for feedback.
We get it. You're grizzled.
Anyway, we've got more important things to worry about now. The company's seen you, seeing what you can do. They're gonna come for you, for us. So get some sleep. You're going to need it.
It's cool too, like in the conversations, how the audio is panned to either side. If you're wearing headphones, it's a lot more obvious, but yeah, cool. So we got all the optional objectives, which is worth SP. 2 XP from the actual mission. SP are earned by completing optional objectives for completing hero challenges. Use SP in the upgrades menu to unlock new abilities and upgrades. There we go.
I think I just leveled up.
So we're level 2 with Facet. Each hero who participates in combat, earns XP. Gaining enough XP levels up a hero and increases their hero level. Each hero level makes new abilities or upgrades available to unlock in the upgrades menu.
I knew you were going to ask me to join.
And Mindfire has joined. Sick. Okay, so SP5, he got leveled up. Here's an overview of what's happening. All the skills. You can unlock more skills here. So Shield Shard. Prevent an ally from any damage or negative effects from their next attacker. So if somebody gets into trouble, you throw this on. Range 7's pretty big.
If it works for me.
Seems like a good idea. And then Opportunist. Automatically attack enemies who perform actions beside or in front of Facet. That makes sense too. Does not include attacks against him though. So no retaliation against him. But let's take that. Upgrades wise, so you have to be this level to unlock this section, and then you need to have the required SP. So as an example, Crystallize increases damage reduction against ranged weapons by 15%, so that's cool. Melee stuff would probably stay at 50, range would go to -65, and growth here, knocking enemies into a growth causes additional 0.5 damage. So this little like 0.5 here, 0.5 there, doesn't seem like a lot, but if the enemy health pools are what we're seeing, then that's actually pretty significant. And I like that it's not displayed as a percentage. It's like, this is exactly how much extra you're going to be getting. So cool. Level 3, we unlock a whole bunch of stuff, but that's fine. It shows us his team up abilities there, and then his individual challenges. So teleport 10 times with Facet Teleport, and we get 3 SP for that. Look at all of this. Group Huddle. Taunt 4 enemies at once 3 times with Facet's Taunt. Like, there's a ton of these. Use Growth on the ground 5 times in a single mission. Use Shard Lockdown on 10 enemies at once. Oh, okay, so that's telling me, like, the scale of the battles get pretty nutty. Shard Lockdown 15 times. Use Team Ups 50 times. So all of these things, you could just be playing and eventually unlock some of them, but some of them we will have to really focus on and try. So we don't even get to see what these are until he reaches that level. Okay, sick. Very cool. Now, dossiers. This is some breakdowns of all the characters. So if you're a super in King City, you either work for the company or you get dealt with. Doctrine here was one of the leading capes in King City. Most prestigious superhero team and general celebrity around town. All of that ended when the company took over. Lots of heroes died on that day, known as the Showdown. General assumption was that Doctrine was among them. Doctrine, though, was hard to kill, harder still to stop. Does he have what it takes to stop the company single-handed? Certainly not, but with a team, maybe. I have to imagine we get access to playing with him at some point. Facet here, Mindfire, Rebound, the company. And then there's these like dialogue things that open at some point too. So I'm pumped about that. Appearance-wise, there's these options that come with like upgraded versions of the game, so you get extra skins and stuff. That's cool. Okay, so we'll get into those background dossiers once we unlock some of the conversations. So here we go to missions. Campaigns are like main missions from my understanding. Simulator stuff is all stuff that we've done. I don't know if, let's say for example, I went to here and said, I want to redo this. Do I actually get 1 XP here? I don't know if that's a thing. So I'm going to ask the devs. But these you can see, yes, we would get this XP. Maybe this is just showing the XP that we actually got from it. It would be interesting if that was a thing where you could go back and do it and gain more XP, but I guess we'll see. So this looks like it's a single mission with her, and this is, I guess, a mission that he has to go on with 3 potential slots. So we'll do all of the patrols and the campaigns when they come up. and go from there. But this also shows a number of optional objectives. Yeah, this is sick. Really, really cool so far. I'm excited to see where this goes. Guys, hope you enjoyed this. Please like the video. I'll have links down below for you to check out. And this is Capes. We'll be back with more tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.